Hello everybody, it's Robin Kessler, and today I'm going to talk about my book. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to get here because I am a minute early. So if you're around, that's great. If you're not around, that's even great. That's fine too, because eventually you're going to see this and you'll get to understand what the book is about. So I'm going to give a few minutes and we'll see who comes in. So if you're here, please say hello. Lauren, I see you. So I guess you figured it out and you joined. So I have two computers on. So I'm actually seeing people type to me on one side and those who can't figure out how to get in here. And I also have the live going. So I'm in. Who else is here? Let me know who else is on. Let's see if I can maneuver this mouse to see who else is here. There are two people here. So there's me and somebody else. And I'm sure there's got to be lag. So type to me, tell me you're here. So, because the only way I can tell if you're here is if you say something. So I'm going to, as I said, I'm giving you people a minute or two, and so they can log on and figure it out. David's here. Hi, David. But I only have two people. So who else said? Jonathan joined. Hi, Jonathan. And I want to have a couple of more people join, so I'm only not talking to three. But I know I will be talking to more, or more will be seeing me once I send this into the group. But this way you can ask me questions if you can get on now. So Liz is here. Hi, Liz. Happy Easter, everyone. The only way you can talk to me is if you text me. It's not going in the group. So you have to make sure that you're typing in the live. So otherwise, nobody's going to see you say hello. So that's basically how you see me. So hopefully not everybody's busy with Easter and Passover. Well, Passover, tell you the truth, is nothing to do. My Passover is going good. It's 8 days. As you know, we're all stuck in the house. So, and I'm living on matzah. But, and I hope your Easter's going well. If you, I did it via Zoom with 5 families for our Passover Seder. So I'm hoping that for your Easter dinner, you're doing it Zoom also, because you can't have a large crowd in the house. I mean, you're right, in your house. So you basically have to do it via video. So before I get into the book, because I just want to give a few people to get on, just in case they haven't, I just added Alcor shells to my shop. And it's these guys. I happen to collect them myself, but I was able to get these, about 20 of them. They're really cute. They're all done from they're all from a sustainable farm. I made sure of that. And you can keep it as a direct decoration. You can even take your Palo Santo sticks. It's very hard for me to do this and hold it at the same time, but you can put the sticks in here, to just leave them in here as a decoration to hold your sticks, and you can actually put cone incense in it and burn it as long as you put it on a hot plate. So I'm selling them for $5. I'm doing free shipping over $35. So if you're stuck at 30, you can add one of these, and it's a nice additive. This is the back, and this is the front. So they're really cute. They really don't have a smell, but they look like they have mother of pearl inside it. As I said, I collect them also, so I think they're really cool. Yes, I have Palo Santo sticks in my shop, and actually I have to add more because I just got a new shipment of another 100 of them in. So, yes, I do. I sell them in batches of 8. You get 8 in a package. 8 will last you about 4 or 5 months, even more. Because if you're burning them, you're only burning a little bit. And if you are scraping them for tea, they can last as long as you have them left. So they could last, 8 of them should last you a good 5-6 months. So they are in my shop, and as I said, you can definitely get them. So I think there's enough people here to go through my book. As you know, this is the book I put up on, when I post this, you'll see that you can get it from my website. If you get it from my website, I will personally sign it. If you are, but that's only for the people in the United States and those that did pre-sales already outside of the United States. For those outside of the United States now, I found out from Lulu that's where I published it, is that they have publishing houses and print shops all over the world. In fact, it's very interesting because I have friends in Somalia who want the book. So when I put a book in for USPS to send it to Somalia, the book came out to almost $80 to ship it. One book. I thought that was ludicrous. But Lulu is doing it. Canada is about $6 on Lulu's site. And I have to give you the correct site because I put it wrong. But I will give it to you correctly when I post this. But Lulu in Canada comes out to about $6 because I know about 6 people ordered already from Canada. And it only came out to maybe $6.10, $6.20, which is real cheap. But for Somalia, it actually came out to $14.99 with no tracking. This was 3 books. And it came out to $45 with tracking, which is halfway across the world. So, and I'm told that they're going to have in Australia they're actually negotiating now for a print shop in Australia, so it'll be real cheap. And if you go to their site and type in your address, your name and your address, they will configure the shipping charges before you pay for it. And then you basically can see how much it'll cost you. They do have shipping in the UK, and they do have in Germany. So even that's closer. I guess, than shipping from the United States. Shipping from the United States is ridiculous. So, in shipping prices. So I suggest you go to the shop, and as I said, I will put it up after I post it of where, because accidentally when I copied and pasted it, it gave me the wrong place for the outside the United States, but I will re-put it. So, why I wrote this book. I wanted to make it extremely user-friendly for those that are beginners and those that are intermediates. When I got my certification for aromatherapy, we really didn't go into resins. We learned about the essential oil of the resin, but we really didn't learn about the resin. And I just got to keep an eye, because if you see here, I'm actually burning Katari in the little burner that I have. So I just want to check it and make sure I'm not running out of light, of flame. So as I was saying, so we only touch on the resin. So I wanted to learn more about the resin, because with the resin you can definitely do a lot more. You don't have the many restrictions that you do with the essential oils. You can ingest the resins as long as you use moderation and you use some common sense. And the other reason is why I created the Frankincense group, so you can learn about the resins. The book is 148 pages. It's a nice size. When you open the book, and I'll open the book, all right, in the beginning of the book are all testimonials, and these people actually got a copy of my book. So they actually read it, and then they gave me all their comments, and they were good comments, so they went into the book. The book is copywritten. I'm waiting for the certificate to come, because unfortunately, because of the virus, everything takes 4 to 6 months. The book has an ISDN number, and it's registered with the ISDN.org. And everything that's in this book, I have written. Anything that I took from people's websites or anything else, information I took, I have contracts with everybody and written permission and contracts to allow me to use their information, and their names are in the book. The book starts off with, of course, the table of contacts, which you can't see much of it, but it goes from 1 all the way down to 129. So there are 129 chapters in the book. I listened to what people told me about when I wrote this book, about what they wanted in a book. And I did a lot of surveying to see what people wanted in a book. And I didn't want a black and white book, because let's face it, they're rocks and they're different colors. So if you put them in black and white, you're not going to be able to tell the difference which one is which. I talk about in the beginning about all the different frankincense resins, what they're all about, where they come from, and it's 2 pages of information and history. There's actually 4 pages of history of each one of the resins that I am talking about. I give you basically 6 resins, the ones that we mostly use in aromatherapy, and I also give you a couple of ones that are not used that much. I have Palo Santo in here, and I have myrrh in here. I also talk about boswellic acids, and you get, I don't know if you can see it, but there is the structure, and basically all the information about boswellic acid and which resins have the highest percentage and which resins contain the boswellic acid. As you go through the book, I start with a description of each resin. The picture is on the right side. Ann Sullivan did a lot of the pictures for me, and she's recognized in the book. The picture is on, you're seeing it opposite, but the picture is on the left side, and all the information is on the right side, all about each individual resin. This is Qatari. The pictures are mine. And a lot of the pictures in the book come from me, come from Boswellness, who is a resin distilling company, come from Ryan Bambrick, who is a member of the Frankincense group, and have come from Ann Sullivan, and a lot of the pictures you have seen in the Frankincense group that she created. So I give you Qatari, Serrata, Neglector, and you actually have pictures of each one, as you can see here. And I give you Boswellia Revere, and the picture you see here was created by my sister-in-law, who did all the illustrating in the book. I give you Dizzelli, and I give you, of course, Fariana, which is one of my favorites. And I describe each one and its therapeutic properties, and basically what the therapeutic properties are and what you can do with it. Then, of course, I give you, as I said, I also added myrrh. All the Latin names are in here, and the regular and the common names. And, of course, there's Palo Santo. And let me go through. And I also have a Pananax in here, which is the sweet myrrh. And then I talk about sustainability. And I also give you some websites besides my own shop of where you can purchase resins, because I don't want you to think I'm only talking about my shop. And then I also talk about caution and how to use them properly. And then I go into burning them. So when you get into the burning and the infusing, and also I have the manual burner, which is very similar to what's sitting over there. And as you see, it's all full pictures. And we go into the electric burner. That happens to be Dan Riegler's electric burner of Apothecary Gardens. And then I go into how to burn incense. And then we start into how to infuse it with step-by-step, so that you basically, everything is step-by-step with full descriptions how to infuse it, infusing the whole resin and the powdered resin. And this is how to do it for the powder. And as I said, I give you step by step so you can actually figure it out. And also I give you, people ask me about, what about children? Well, I have a whole page just on if it can be used with children and the age. And then, of course, I go into the differences between how to distill the resins and the essential oil of each one of the resins. And I explain all that you see here. Then I get into the recipes. This is basically how you make capsules. And as you can see, and see if I could put it up high enough so you can see it, it's all step by step on how to do it. I go into all the frankincense water, and I basically gave you pictures so you could see what the finished product looked like. And if I did this, here's lemonade. If I did this in black and white, it'd have absolutely no clue. And I go into tea and coffee, into hot chocolate, into my frozen delights. And again, it's step by step. The recipe is full. And I even go into the upside down pineapple cake. This is how you can use the resin. And everybody keeps asking me, here's my Rockin' Robin drops. A lot of you have gotten it in the packages that I sent out to you because I just made a whole batch of it for myself. And it's got actually 2 full pages because it's a long process on making the drops. I have a Merck tincture in here. And let's see. And I also show you my boswellic extract and how to use it. And this is a lotion made with the extract. And again, how to use it. Let's see. And then also I teach you how to make salves. And I give you total instructions on how to make the salves. I also give you lip balms to make. I go through the sediments of what to do with them. Here's my famous soap that you can make yourself. And I also have sugar scrubs. And what I did, and then we created my own little shop in a page. What we did also is I have my acknowledgments, and what I did is I put a section in here for personal notes. Because when you do recipes, I don't want you writing on, and I know myself, when I do a recipe book, I write things on little pieces of paper, and then I lose what I wrote, so then I don't know how to do what I want to do. So what I did is I gave you 2 sheets here of blank paper so you can make notes, and then at the end I give you 4 pages of blank paper so that you can write down anything, any notes as you're reading it. You can go in the back and, write a whole bunch of notes so that this way you don't have to write all over the book. You can write in the back. I have 49 references. Each one is cited to where they go. I will tell you that Lee Wang went through every one of my references to make sure that they were cited correctly and they were written correctly. So everything is correct in this book. So that's basically my book. It's got the ISD number. I'm backwards, so I can't see. It's got the ISDN number in the back, and it's got it on the first page. The only thing it's missing is the barcode, because this type of book, as I said, I wanted to get it as cheap as possible. And this particular type of book, they can't put a barcode on. So, and I'm not planning to sell it to Amazon, but if you're a school, you can definitely sell it. And I've already got offers from 2 schools, and I I just can't sell it in Amazon or Barnes and Noble because it has to have that barcode. And if you, I just bought 200 books to for pre-sales that from the people who did pre-sales with me and extra. And I will sign, as I said, personally if you purchase from me instead of Lulu. But Lulu, you basically have no choice if you're out of the United States. But this way, I can give you the book at $24.99. It's packed with so much good stuff, and I'm very impressed by it myself. My sister-in-law is on the book as the designer because she put all my pictures where they belong, and she basically helped me design the book. The front cover is mine. I actually took that picture. You will probably see it all over the place because I use it for everything. As I said, Lee edited the book for me. My sister-in-law edited the book for me. I had a publisher edit the book for me, and my daughter-in-law edited the book for me too. So it's been edited and ripped apart and made sure everything is correct in this book. So there it is. So if anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask. Yeah, I'm sucking on the, Brenda said she's got the Rockin' Robin dropped. That was the ones I gave you. So, because I made a whole bunch. So if you have any questions other than that, please ask me now. So I am waiting. Oh, for those that already paid for the pre, as I said, I just ordered the books. I ordered them on Monday. Unfortunately, because of the virus, and as you know, everything is backed up. And because everything is backed up, they told me it could be between 2 and 3 weeks before I get the book. So as soon as I get it, I will sign it and ship it out. I have everything laid out for it to go. And believe me, I want it more than you do. So this was my pre-copy to make sure everything was fine, and everything was fine in the book. So you're going to get it. Those that are going to get it are going to get it in an envelope, in one of those bubble wrap envelopes. That's how you're going to get it. So anybody got questions for me? Not a lot of questions, huh? Anybody? I give you a minute. I basically told you everything about it. So, as I said, it's got a lot of stuff. It's got a lot of recipes. It's got a lot of information. It talks about every resin. And, people have said, well, the fact that you put PDFs in the group is wonderful, except that I really can't look at it. I would rather a book. And people have asked me, are you doing an ebook? No. And the reason I'm not doing, I'll answer you in a minute, Brenda. The reason I'm not doing an ebook, because you can't write in an ebook. And I don't think you'll get the benefit out of it if I do it as an ebook, because then you're going to have blank pages and you can't do anything with it because it's on it's in an ebook. So this is a hands-on book. So no, I will not be doing a, yes, Lauren, I'm going to put it in. Unfortunately, I put it in wrong. So when I post this, give me a few minutes and let me put the right link in for those outside the United States. That includes Canada. let me just see what Brenda wanted. I totally need a physical in my handbook that I can mark up. That's why I did this, because I give you a chance to be able to scribble in it. And you asked, all right, people ask me, where do you store the resins? All right, number one, the powder should be stored in a Ziploc bag. Do not put it in a glass jar, or you're going to be throwing it out. The problem with a glass jar is you don't know how much humidity, even the tiniest little humidity, if it gets into that jar, you're basically in trouble. Because what's going to happen, it's going to get hard as a rock, and you're not going to be able to get it out. All of mine, and I've been selling you them, because I powdered up the Fariana powder, is in a Ziploc bag in my freezer. There's no humidity in your freezer. It's frozen. And it'll stay fresh. It'll stay soft. That's for the powder. As for the resin, I don't keep it in glass jars either, because I find that, again, you run into the same problem. If you get any moisture in there, you'll create mold, and then you'll have moldy resin. So, again, I keep it in Ziploc bags. All the resin that I'm selling are in Ziploc bags, and they're fine. All the resin that I've had over 2 years are in Ziploc bags, and they're doing fine. Anything that I put in a jar wound up getting moldy. So Ziploc bags are very inexpensive. Put them in Ziploc bags. As long as you zip it closed, you're fine. You can also put it in a plastic container. You can put it in, I have some of my resins in those big, like those pretzel jar containers. You can put it in that also. That's not going to get as much moisture in it than the glass jar. Glass jars are very good for when you infuse. So when you're infusing resin, you want to put that in a glass jar. In room temperature, no. You want it in a cool, dry place. If you put it in warmth, they're going to melt into each other, because eventually the gum is going to start to ooze. That's why they tell you to put it in the freezer before you grind it up, because the gum is going to melt and you're never going to get it ground properly. So it's got to be in a cool, dry place. If you have a basement, I would store it in your basement. If you have a room that you know stays constant temperature where it's not hot, make sure you don't keep it near a vent in the house. That's fine. The resins are in my office. This office has like 4 windows. In the summer, the air conditioning is on, and it's nice and cool in here. In the winter, it's also cool in here. It happens to be a very comfortable, cool room. It's not, when I sit in here, sometimes I have to put a sweater on. So the rest of my storage of my resins, as I grow, are actually going into a cold storage. So you cannot keep it in a warm room, because they're going to melt into each other, or they're going to wind up getting moldy. So, anybody else? Because there are 4 people here. Actually, there's 5 people here. So, anybody else? Any questions? Well, you got me. So buy my book. I'd really appreciate it. And when you buy my book, I will set up a comment thing in the group, because I want to hear what you think about it. And those actually who buy it outside the United States will probably get it before those in the United States, because depending on how fast they're shipping there versus how they're shipping in the United States. And as you know, I'm getting a lot of books. So 1 book versus 200 books. 200 books take longer to print, one book takes nothing to print. So I will give you the link. I promise I will give you the link. I'm looking it up right now before I end this to make sure I fix what I just did, because I stuck it in the wrong place. So let's see if I can fix it in here. I don't know why it gave me the wrong link. So I'm going to put it in. Let's see if it'll allow me to put it in here now before I close this up. Let's see. No. No such luck. No. Okay. I'm going to have to put it in when I end this. I will put it back in the comments, and then you'll have the link. So, no, it won't be. Oh, it'll be like Christmas when it comes. I read it wrong. I thought you wrote it'll be Christmas when it comes. If it does that, I'm going to cry. So, yeah, well, it was Christmas when the first book came to me. I was so excited. I could have ran to. Unfortunately, it came during the virus, since we were quarantined. So I haven't been able to run around and tell everybody outside. But I have been passing it around online. So it'll be great. So that's what happens when you read things wrong. So anybody else? Any questions? I hope you'll like it. I worked very hard on this book. It took me 2 years to write it. So changes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did writing it. So I'm going to end now so that I can finish what I was doing. And also, everybody, thank you, Lauren. Everybody have a wonderful Easter, and please stay safe.